The hull of Concorde was the largest diplomatic station ever built. It floated at the center of a bright star system where dozens of trade lanes crossed. Every major empire kept warships there. Every powerful species showed its strength openly. Gigantic cruisers surrounded the station. Golden hulls, black, spiked dreadnoughts, massive carriers with glowing engines, thousands of weapons, pointed in every direction. Power was on display inside the station. Representatives from more than 40 civilizations gathered around a circular chamber. Tall beings, short beings. Scale. Furred. Mechanical. Energy. Based. Each wore symbols of their empire. Each wanted influence. Each wanted control. At one small table near the edge of the chamber sat a single human. No guards. No assistants. No visible weapons. He wore a simple dark uniform. No medals. No decorations. His hair was short, his face calm. His name was Elias Ward, but no one cared enough to learn it. The humans were a minor species. Young. Limited territory. Small fleet. They survived by trade and diplomacy. Not by force. At least that was the common belief. Across the chamber, a tall reptilian alien stood and activated the central platform. Supreme overseer Kar of the vast empire, a species known for conquest. They absorbed weaker civilizations and stripped their resources. Rarely lost wars. Kar's deep voice echoed through the chamber. The vast empire is expanding into the Orion Fringe, he announced. Several representatives stiffened. That region bordered human space. Khar continued. Any systems currently occupied by lesser species will be placed under vast protection. Protection. Everyone knew what that word meant. Slavery. Forced labor. Resource extraction. A murmur spread through the chamber. Some aliens looked uncomfortable. Most said nothing. The human remained seated. Silent. Still. Khar turned his glowing eyes toward the human table. Humans occupy several systems within the Orion Fringe, Kar said. He smiled. A slow, sharp-toothed smile. You will vacate them. The chamber grew quiet. Dozens of eyes turned toward the lone human. They expected protest. They expected anger. They expected fear. Elias Ward did not change expression. He slowly stood. No dramatic movement. No raised voice. He looked directly at Kar. You will regret this, Elias said. That was all. Silence followed. Then laughter, not just from Kar, from many representatives. A clicking laughter, a hissing laughter. Mocking. Disbelieving. Khar tilted his head. Regret? He repeated. You possess no fleet capable of stopping us. More laughter. Kar waved one clawed hand. This meeting is concluded. The chamber's lights dimmed. Representatives began to leave. Elias sat back down. He did not argue. He did not threaten. He did not try to convince anyone. From the outside, it looked like surrender. From the outside, it looked like weakness. No one noticed Elias activate a small device on his wrist. No one noticed the faint blue light. No one cared. 3 hours later, vast war fleets began jumping into hyperspace. Thousands of ships. Heavy cruisers. Carrier groups. Planetary assault vessels. Their target. Human border systems. Vast commanders expected light resistance. Few patrol ships. Some outdated stations. Quick victories. They planned to broadcast their conquest as a warning to other minor species. Inside his small human ship, Elias stood alone on the bridge. No crew. No visible control panels. Only holographic displays. Stars moved silently outside the viewport. He spoke softly. Phase 1 authorized. Invisible to everyone else, signals raced outward through deep space. Through dark matter channels. Through quantum relays. Hidden across human territory. Ancient-looking mining stations changed configuration. Civilian cargo ships altered course. Small objects hidden inside. Asteroids activated. Nothing exploded. Nothing fired. Yet the first Vost scout group entered the Helios passage. 6 ships. They detected nothing. No human fleet. No defenses. They advanced deeper. Than their lead ship. Vanished. No explosion. No debris. It simply disappeared. The other 5 ships stopped. Confusion spread. Sensor error? A Vost officer asked. The commander ordered a scan. Before results returned, a second ship vanished, then a third. The remaining ships attempted to retreat. They never jumped. Moments later, wreckage drifted silently. Cut clean. Precision strikes. But from what? There were no enemy contacts. No visible attackers. No energy signatures. The Vost command flagged the incident as malfunction. A larger fleet was dispatched. 200 ships. They entered Helios passage. They found wreckage, floating metal, dead crews. No intact ships. Still no enemies on sensors. The fleet advanced. Then the attacks began. Invisible beams sliced through hulls. Ships were ripped open. Engines failed. Power grids collapsed. Screams filled Vost command channels. They fired blindly. Nothing to target. Within minutes, 50 ships were gone. The fleet retreated in panic. At Vost high command, disbelief turned into anger. Humans were blamed for sabotage. The Vost Empire declared total war. They announced humans would be exterminated. Across the galaxy, many races watched quietly. Some felt sympathy. Most assumed humans were finished. On his small ship, Elias watched reports scroll past. He did not smile. He did not celebrate. He simply spoke again. Phase 2 is ready. The galaxy still believed humans were weak. They still believed the quiet human was nothing. They had no idea. They had just stepped into a trap built in silence. The Vost Empire did not believe in ghosts. They believed in firepower. They believed in numbers. They believed in crushing anything that resisted. What happened in the Helios passage did not fit their understanding of war. So they sent more ships. Much more. 3 massive fleets jumped toward human space from different directions. Over 3,000 warships. Cruisers. Destroyers. Carriers. Planetbreaker vessels. The order was simple. Find the enemy. Destroy everything human. The first fleet entered the Nix corridor. Long range. Scanners showed empty space. No stations. No mines. No fleets. Humans are hiding. The fleet commander said, "Advance." The fleet moved forward. Slow. Cautious. Then a ship at the far edge vanished. No warning. No explosion. Just gone. The commander frowned. Check sensor logs. Before the report arrived, another ship vanished. Then 2 more. Alarms began to sound. Unknown. Contact. Negative. No contact. How are they attacking us? The commander ordered full power to shields. It did not help. A destroyer suddenly split in half. Cruiser lost its entire engine section. Bodies and metal drifted into space. Screams filled communication channels. Still no visible enemy. Still no weapon signatures. Fire in all directions. The commander shouted. Thousands of cannons fired into empty space. Missiles exploded. Uselessly. Nothing was hit. The fleet tried to retreat. Jump drives failed. Navigation systems went dark. One by one. Ships were carved apart. Silent. Precise. Unseen. Within 10 minutes. Half the fleet was gone. The survivors cut power. They drifted. They prayed. The attacks stopped. Those who survived later described it as hunting, like something had decided it was finished killing. For now. In another system, the second Vost fleet entered human territory. They detected an old human mining station. Rust-covered. Barely powered. Harmless. The commander laughed. Destroy it. The station suddenly moved. Its outer hull opened, massive. Cannons unfolded. The first Voss cruiser was erased, then another. Then another. Hidden. Weapon platforms powered up across the asteroid field. Every rock became a gun. The fleet tried to pull back. Explosions tore through their formation. Drones poured from shattered asteroids. They attached to Voss ships. They drilled inside, then detonated. Within minutes, the fleet was reduced to burning debris. No survivors. In the third approach route, a Voss carrier group found human cargo. Ships. Slow. Unarmed. Civilian. Easy targets. The Voss commander smiled. Fire. The human ships did not explode. They opened. Cargo holds split apart. Hundreds of small attack craft poured out. Drone fighters. Missile boats. Stealth torpedoes. The cargo ships were carriers in disguise. The ambush lasted 6 minutes. The Voss carrier group was wiped out. Across Voss command networks, panic began to grow. Reports conflicted. Humans had no fleets. Humans had weak technology. Humans were traitors. Yet thousands of Voss ships were dying without seeing the enemy, without understanding. How? At Voss High Command, officers argued. This is impossible. They are using forbidden technology. They must have allies. Spies were sent. None returned. Recon drones were launched. None came back. Human space appeared. Quiet. Peaceful. Empty. No massive fleets gathered. No obvious defense lines. Nothing. Which made it worse. On his small ship, far from the fighting, Elias watched the data streams. System maps, kill confirmations, enemy, movement patterns. He adjusted symbols with small hand motions. He did not look excited. He did not look angry. He looked focused. A human officer appeared on a holographic channel. Phase 2 trap successful. Elias nodded. Begin Phase 3 preparations. Yes, sir. The officer hesitated. Voss casualties exceed projected numbers. Elias answered calmly. They chose escalation. The channel closed. Back in Voss space, the Empire faced a terrifying truth. They were not fighting a visible enemy. They were fighting a presence. Network. A shadow. Their fleets were bleeding. Their borders were burning. And they still had not seen a single human warship in open battle. The galaxy began to whisper. Humans were not weak. Humans were not helpless. Humans were something far worse. Invisible. Patient. Prepared. And the quiet human they ignored was guiding the storm. The Voss Empire demanded answers. They sent spies. They sent probes. They sent long-range scanners to every human border. System. Nothing made sense. There were no massive shipyards. No giant fleets. No visible battle stations. Human space looked weak. Poor. Empty. Yet Voss fleets kept dying. Inside Voss High Command, tension filled the air. Our models say humans cannot build this level of infrastructure, an analyst said. Then our models are wrong, another replied. The truth was simple. Humans had never tried to look powerful. They had tried to look harmless for decades. Humans sold cheap minerals, cheap fuel, cheap labor. They worked in alien factories. They mined alien asteroids. They repaired alien stations. No one noticed what humans learned. No one noticed what humans mapped. No one noticed where humans placed equipment. Because humans never bragged. Because humans stayed quiet. Deep inside human-controlled space, an ancient-looking station drifted alone from the outside. It looked abandoned. Rust. Broken antennas. No lights. Inside, it was alive. Thousands of human technicians worked in silence. Holographic displays showed glowing webs across star maps. Every glowing point was a hidden asset. Weapon platforms, sensor nodes, drone nests, jump. DISRUPTORS. Power relays, a galaxy-wide web. At the center of this station, Elias stood. He wore the same simple uniform. No medals, no symbols. Around him, officers monitored data streams. Vost Fleet Alpha moving through Corridor 7. Redirect them toward Nebula Trap. Confirmed? Elias spoke calmly. Do not rush. We want them deep. The officers obeyed. They had trained for this for years. This was not a reaction. This was a plan. Long ago, humans realized something. Could never match older empires in numbers. They could never outbuild them. So they chose another path. They would never fight fair. They would never fight loud. They would turn space itself into a weapon. Every mining station humans built had empty compartments. Every cargo ship humans sold had hidden bays. Every navigation beacon humans installed had extra circuitry. Piece by piece, humans seeded the stars. When Vost fleets entered human space, they were not entering territory. They were entering a maze. In Corridor 7, Vost Fleet Alpha advanced. Sensors showed drifting rocks. Gas clouds. Silence. Then navigation failed. Jump engines went offline. Avant sensors showed drifting rocks. Gas clouds. Silence. Then navigation failed. Jump engines went offline. Advanced sensors at drifting rocks. Sensors showed drifting rocks. Gas clouds. Silence. Vost officer shouted. Unknown gravity distortions. Space bent. Ships were pulled off course. Vost formation broke apart. From the nebula, dark shapes emerged. Not ships. Platforms. Fixed. Weapon arrays anchored to invisible structures. They fired. Clean. Precise. One shot. One kill. Vost ships tried to fire back. They could not lock targets. The platform shifted. Position. Phase shift technology. Not teleportation. Not cloaking. Something stranger. They existed slightly out of normal space. Only humans had the frequency keys. Within minutes, Fleet Alpha collapsed. In another region, Vost Fleet Beta chased what looked like a human. Supply convoy. Slow ships. Easy prey. The convoy transmitted distress signals. The Vost commander smiled. Destroy them. The convoy scattered. Each ship became a relay. They powered up surrounding space. A lattice of energy formed. Vost ships inside the lattice lost power. Engines died. Shields failed. Human drones emerged from everywhere. They did not dogfight. They attached to hulls. They cut inside. They detonated in engineering sections. Fleet Beta vanished. Reports flooded Vost command. This is not a navy. This is a trap system. This is a kill web. The phrase spread. Human kill web. A distributed war machine. No central fleet. No single headquarters. Destroy one node. 10 others remained. Elias watched casualty numbers rise. He did not celebrate. He did not smile. A human officer asked quietly, "Sir, do we activate deep nodes?" Elias paused. Deep nodes were ancient. Old human technology, built after humanity's first. Near-extinction. Never tested in real war. Yes, Elias said. Limited activation. Across human space, structures that had slept for centuries awakens, star-sized. Power collectors rotated. Buried megastructures inside. Moons began to hum. VOST sensors detected impossible energy spikes. Panic erupted. They have super weapons. They have hidden megastructures. Elias watched the data. The enemy was finally seeing a fraction of reality, but not all. Never all. A message arrived from Vost Command. A demand. Surrender and deactivate your weapons. Elias did not reply. He closed the channel. Instead, he issued a new order: begin targeting supply routes. Begin starvation protocol. Human weapons shifted focus. They stopped hitting frontline fleets. They hit fuel convoys, repair stations, food, transports. Medical ships. The war changed. Vast fleets still existed, but they could no longer fight. Ships without fuel drifted. Crews without food starved. The Empire began to rot from inside. Across the galaxy, observers finally understood. Humans were not fighting to win a battle. They were fighting to erase an empire. Slowly. Quietly. Completely. And at the center of it all, the quiet human continued to guide the storm. The vast empire panicked. For the first time in centuries, their fleets were losing battles they could not even see. Ships that once crushed worlds were being destroyed piece by piece, silently, by humans who no one thought capable of war. Fleet commanders yelled into communication channels, but the replies were scattered screams and static. Ships drifted powerless through space. The attack was everywhere and nowhere at once. Elias Ward watched. From his bridge, his small ship floated silently near a hidden asteroid cluster. He had not left his post in over 30 hours. Around him, young human officers monitored screens showing dozens of enemy fleets in collapse. Phase 3 is ready. One officer sighed. Good, Elias replied. Strike their supply lines. Starve them slowly. Within minutes, human drones and disguised cargo ships activated simultaneously across multiple systems. Their targets: fuel transports, supply convoys, repair stations, and medical ships. The first supply fleet jumped into human space. It expected an easy raid. Instead, ships were ripped apart before they could even align formation. Engines exploded, tearing hulls apart. Ships that tried to escape were trapped by gravity distorters and crushed by sudden pressure bursts. Another fleet tried to rescue survivors, but human ships were everywhere. Not in massive fleets, not in open battle lines, but in the shadows. Hiding behind asteroids, in nebulae, using stars to bend sensors, and striking with deadly precision. Every attack left no survivors. The vast empire's fleets bled slowly. They could not regroup. They could not flee. Every route back to home systems was sabotaged. Every jump point was booby-trapped. Every repair station was destroyed. Sir, a young officer said quietly, the front lines are gone. They have no fuel, no supplies, and no reinforcements. The fleets, they are falling apart. Elias nodded. His face remained calm, almost expressionless. They should have listened when we warned them, he said. Vast fleets had expected a minor confrontation, a few human ships at most. Instead, they were being annihilated systematically. Boarding teams were deployed next. From cargo vessels and hidden pods, humans infiltrated enemy ships. Engineering bays exploded. Weapon systems were sabotaged. Enemy crews panicked as their own ships betrayed them. Every human boarding action was precise. Every strike was deadly. The galaxy watched in shock. News channels recorded it in real time. Fleets of one of the most powerful empires in the known galaxy were disappearing, one by one, without the humans ever appearing in full force. At the center of it all, Elias observed quietly. He did not celebrate. He did not gloat. Humans were not cruel. They were precise. They were patient. They were silent killers. A vast admiral, trapped in one of the last surviving cruisers, attempted one final call. Human! Surrender. Cease your attacks. We will negotiate terms. The transmission ended before Elias even pressed a button. He had no interest in negotiations. Instead, he ordered, continue the bleeding. Target all remaining fleets and supply points. Minimal risk to human lives. maximum impact to their war effort. The holographic star map glowed as indicators turned red, marking enemy vessels under attack. More fleets crumpled. More stations exploded. For the first time, the Vost commanders understood the truth. They were not fighting humans, they were fighting an entire system that humans had turned into a weapon. They had underestimated the quiet human. They had ignored him. And now their empire was bleeding. Across the galaxy, civilizations whispered in awe and fear. Humans had proven something terrifying. Silence does not mean weakness. Quietness does not mean surrender. Patience does not mean inaction. And the quiet human, who no one had noticed at the Hall of Concord, was at the center of it all. Elias looked at the slowly crumbling fleets and spoke softly, almost to himself. They should have listened. The galaxy would remember this phrase forever. The Vost Empire was dying, not in one strike, not in a single battle, but slowly, quietly, systematically. Fleets that once filled star lanes were drifting in space, powerless. Entire convoys vanished. Supply depots exploded. Star bases collapsed. The Empire's infrastructure was bleeding, and no one knew who or what was causing it. Elias Ward sat on the bridge of his small ship, watching the final report stream in. Hidden human stations across the Orion Fringe had carried out their silent work. Ancient drones emerged from moons. Mining stations activated as weapons platforms. Navigation points once thought harmless became traps. The Vost fleets tried to regroup in desperation. A few ships survived, limping toward their homeworlds. But their engines failed one by one. Fuel convoys were gone. Repair stations destroyed. Systems overrun. Ships drifted helpless, screaming across channels as the invisible human force struck again and again. One last admiral, trapped on a massive cruiser, sent a desperate message. "Human, we surrender. Cease your attacks. We will comply with your demands. Please do not destroy our home systems."